Hey everybody, this is Matthew with fitlish.com, and I just got back from an over 5,000 mile road trip. It was extraordinary. And on that trip, we went hiking everywhere, we went all over the place. But what I did was I tested the Boulder Boot from Lems Shoes while we were on the trip. This is the only piece of footwear I wore literally for from August 9th to August 25th. So what is that? 16 days. And I even wore it to bed a few times, which is silly. We slept in our car, we camped, we roughed it, we had a great time. I was in Colorado, Nevada, Utah, Montana, Idaho, British Columbia, Alberta, Washington, Oregon, California, and Arizona. We went all over the place. And during a lot of that, we were walking because, as I mentioned, it was a bit of an outdoor, well, it's definitely an outdoor kind of rough it trip, which, of course, I couldn't help but buy a pair of these really cool um, Boulder boots. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about the experience. Of course, they didn't have quite as much character as they have right now. It's a little tarnished along the sides, where I rubbed up against a rock or whatever while I was hiking. But, you know, for all the rest, even the sole looks like it's still in great shape on both shoes. You can tell they've been worn, but they're holding up amazingly well, and they're still very fashionable. We went out a few times to the club because we're young single guys, and we couldn't help but hit up a few of the pubs and clubs there while we were in Canada. And I wore these there as well, and I was not in the least bit self-conscious about it. They look really good when you put them on. It's kind of a canvas material on the sides and the top, the upper portion, and then around the edges in the heel cup you have a suede kind of leather, fake leather material. Inside it's a plaid, kind of like a denim. I suppose that's some sort of denim in there. Really durable, really great shoe. Laces up nice, feels great while I was hiking. Our farthest hike, we went from one side of the Continental Divide to the other in Glacier National Park, Montana. And then we hiked down and we actually swam in a lake with icebergs in it. It was pretty amazing. I wore these shoes. The hike, I couldn't tell you how far it was. It was quite a ways. It was good 10, around roughly 10 miles. And my feet couldn't have felt better. Of course, these are a minimalist boot, so that means that they're flexible and they have a really wide toe pocket, so you can fit all your toes in there and spread them out. Made me feel very confident, even on the most challenging surfaces. While we were in Canada, we actually went to Glacier National Park there in British Columbia as well. We did a hike. It was a Glacier Ridge Trail, overlooked, I think it was the Great Glacier in the park and many glaciers all around. It was a spectacular view. I wore these shoes. We had to scramble up a pile of rocks, and they were all uneven, different angles, different slopes. A really challenging situation when you're hiking. Not life-threatening or anything, but just challenging because your foot has to accommodate all those different surfaces and angles. And with these, I was very confident because the fact that they twist and roll and conform to the surface so well meant that I had like a kung fu like grip on whatever I stepped on. I never slipped, I never fell, I never rolled an ankle or any of that. And this extended upper here that you see kind of grabs your ankle. You lace the boot up nice and snug, and you can't, with this extra support, your ankle can't roll to the side and twist it as easily. So it gave me a little extra confidence with that too on those surfaces. Really just a great boot all over. I highly recommend it to everybody. I'm going to continue to use these as my hiking boots. The only thing that I could see as a downfall is given this material, it breathes very well, and I'm going to do something pretty gross. There's not as much of a nasty odor because of that. Your feet feel better, that they don't sweat as much. And that's a really great benefit of these because when you're hiking, you can get blisters due to the sweating of your feet and the moisture buildup. Now, um, the drawback is if you step in a creek or a stream, your feet are going to get wet. Now, I did walk through some damp and wet areas where water had come across the trail, and I didn't get wet feet. Part of that's due to the fact that the end here has this nice suede material, so it's not like a wick going to soak that water up right away. And if you did get wet, it will dry out quickly because the upper is so breathable. But you're probably not going to have something that you're going to step in a creek and have perfectly dry feet when you get out at the other side. That's the only real drawback. Other than that, my friends love them. I've got a lot of compliments. They ask me what shoes these are, where did I get them, and I love them. They're great. I even wore them to work today, and I'm a real estate agent, so I have to look somewhat. I have to be presentable, and these they look great. I wear them to home inspections, and when we're doing a little less formal things, we're not meeting to negotiate a property or write a contract, but we're out, working on the property itself. They still look very, very great. Kind of rambling on a bit here, but what I was going to say is I did take a bunch of videos with me in action while I was in those amazing parks on our trip, and I'm going to share those with you. If you like to check out a pair of these boots or get a pair for yourself, I wouldn't discourage you at all. You can pick those up at fitlish.com in our store. And I love to hear what you think of the shoes, so go ahead and put your comments below the video, and I will answer those for you.